that we live in. Good afternoon, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome you all here to Ireland's Best Managed Companies Awards Ceremony 2021. On behalf of Deloitte and the programme sponsors Bank of Ireland, Irish Management Institute and the Business Post, as well as our new category sponsors Salesforce and the Family Business Network, I'm absolutely delighted to host the 13th Annual Awards Ceremony from our studio here in the RDS. Although we are unable to all be here in person together, this promises to be an afternoon of celebration, of excitement and entertainment. I want to congratulate you all on being named among Ireland's Best Managed Companies 2021. It truly is something to be really proud of. For those of you who are together as a team watching the ceremony, I hope you enjoy being with one another again in recognising your achievements. It's time to sit back now, relax and enjoy the show. Also, if you are sharing or posting any photos from the afternoon on social media, remember to use the hashtag BestManaged and tag Deloitte Ireland and we'll retweet and like your pictures. Without further ado, please welcome onto our stage Harry Goddard, CEO Deloitte Ireland, who will formally open this afternoon's awards ceremony. Harry.
Thank you very much, Miriam, and it's great to have you here steering us through the awards. It feels a little bit more normal for all of us. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, let me say this. If we were at the convention centre and under different circumstances, we might well be one or two drinks in at this stage of the proceedings. You're looking after yourselves this afternoon, but I hope that there's a glass of something in front of you at this point. I would much rather be with you in person than virtually. Since we last met, we would all have much rather a different year than the one that has transpired. I suspect you've all felt a little weary and tired at points over the last year. I know I have. But I have an inkling that this weariness is far outweighed by something else in your psyche. I've spent some time looking in depth at your submissions. I know who you are. There's a tenacity about you, a steely determination, a desire and an ambition to exceed expectations and to tackle challenges head on. Actually, it's more than an inkling. I think it's very much the case. As a judging panel, we reviewed your applications and submissions and spoke to the best managed companies coaches that worked with you. As we robustly debated who the winners should be from a record number of applications, something became evident to us. While everything was changing around you, you remained true to yourself. You prioritised ensuring your people were safe and well. You focused on your customers and supported them through the pandemic. And of course, you ensured good business disciplines. You could do this because you had clarity and confidence in your core proposition. For sure, I know there are those of you who are in sectors that remain severely impacted by the pandemic, and the economic effect of the pandemic isn't yet in your rearview mirror. But you have fought, you have been agile, you are resilient, and you will persevere. For all of you, your relentless focus on your strategy, your courageousness in adapting and responding appropriately in the moment, but also making your decisions based on the right long-term goals for the business. Your tenacity, ambition and determination, your humility, you have been tested. But through your decisions and your actions, you have strengthened the confidence and bonds of trust that your people and your clients have in you. There are many reasons why we would all have preferred to have never heard of COVID. On a personal basis, I am sure that we all share that same feeling. But as owners, leaders and managers of important Irish businesses, while we didn't plan for a pandemic, we have used it to test our resilience and proven the axiom that good businesses survive a crisis and great businesses emerge stronger. Why do I say that? Because you thrive on change and have relished the challenge of adapting your business to the change in the environment created by the pandemic. You are in peak condition, stronger, more agile, more ready for what's to come. So reflect on that this afternoon. Acknowledge the personal and collective achievements of you and your teams. You have proven your core proposition is robust. You have enhanced your relationship with your people and your clients. You have demonstrated how you can adapt to change. As you reflect on this, some of you will use this as an opportunity to consolidate your position, to reassess your resources, to strengthen or further embed those changes that you have made in the past 18 months. However, some of you will decide that you have done this, that now is the time to take action. You won't wait for the next major change or disruption. You will use this as an opportunity to further innovate, to change the rules of the game. That choice is the luxury of being the best. You are the members of an elite club, Ireland's best managed companies. From that record number of new applications, just over 3 out of 10 made it through to join the overall network of best managed companies. Despite the pride and confidence of the management teams across all of those new applications, they didn't all make it into your club. You are an elite group. And what next? The economy is returning strongly. Government and consumer spend is set to grow. Those businesses who continue to look after their people and their clients will win. They will win in trust, quality, and an ability to innovate that will sustain them into the long term. So to next year, in real life, in a room with three-dimensional people and drinks that we haven't poured ourselves, congratulations, and I wish you all continued success. In a few moments, we will hear an address from Taoiseach Micheál Martin, reflecting on and acknowledging your success. But before that, I would like to acknowledge the people and partners who are critical to the success of the programme. They too have shown their innovation and agility in delivering the programme this year. Our sponsors, Bank of Ireland, IMI and the Business Post. Our judging panel, Frank Ryan, Nicky Canavan, Kate Malone, Fergal Mooney and Colm O'Reilly. Our category sponsors for our 2 new awards, the Family Business Network and Tommy Breen, who was its independent judging representative, and Salesforce with Deirdre Purcell of Salesforce lending her expertise to the judging process. Delighted to have had you on board this year. And of course the BMC team at Deloitte. They've worked really hard with Anya to capture that special BMC atmosphere of celebration this afternoon. Thank you all for your Trojan efforts. And with that, I am honoured to introduce an address by Taoiseach Micheál Martin.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to speak with you today, and I would like to thank Harry Goddard and all at Deloitte for the invitation. Since 2008, the Best Managed Companies Awards run by Deloitte Ireland have celebrated outstanding performance of Indigenous businesses from across the island of Ireland. Events like today are important to celebrate successes already achieved, but also to recognise the major contribution you will make to driving the recovery of our society and our economy. This year, more than any other, it is important that we celebrate the resilience, determination and hard work that has driven the exceptional performance of you all today. For me, encouraging and supporting entrepreneurship is at the centre of the work of government. It is your creativity, your willingness to take risks and to try new things that pushes forward our economy, bringing jobs and creating opportunities. The government is working hard to create an environment in which businesses, big and small, international and domestic, can flourish and drive post the COVID pandemic. With the progress achieved through our vaccination programme, we can now focus on driving that recovery forward. That is the central ambition of our economic recovery plan, launched over the summer. It outlines how we will not only support our recovery, address structural and long-term weaknesses in our economy, but also how we will prepare for the transition to a carbon neutral and digital future. We will do this by helping business, big and small, adapt, and by supporting workers to navigate the economic challenges and opportunities ahead. The past 18 months have shown the extraordinary adaptability, initiative and resilience of the business community. Indeed, as a society and country, all have played the part that has been asked of them. We have come together and shown extraordinary solidarity with each other. I've no doubt whatsoever that this will stand greatly to us all in the coming years. Now we will push on to complete our vaccination programme, to renew our society and to rebuild our economy. I wish to congratulate all the winners, both on your success today and continued success in the future as you join the Best Managed Company Network. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, this year has been uniquely challenging for Irish businesses, so thank you to Harry and to Taoiseach for those fantastic introductions to this afternoon's proceedings. But before we kick off with the award ceremony, I'd like to welcome now Leo Clancy, CEO of Enterprise Ireland, who will join me on stage for a special address.
Good afternoon. I'm delighted to be here, albeit virtually, this evening to open the excellent Deloitte Best Managed Companies Awards for 2021. I'd like to thank Harry and the team for extending the invitation to me, and I look forward to the event. I'm proud to be here tonight, not just as CEO of Enterprise Ireland, but also as a management team alumnus of these awards. I worked for over 4 years as part of the management team of ENET as we scaled our business, and we were fortunate to be a best managed company. Starting that journey personally was a big leap for me. On the day Lehman Brothers collapsed in 2008, I gave notice to my multinational employer of 13 years and joined a 32-person company with losses, debts, and facing into the teeth of a massive recession. Wasn't great timing. Unfortunately, my first full month at the company was also the first month we didn't take an order, not my fault. Over the following 4 years, however, as part of an excellent team, we grew the business and we created huge success. The company continues to succeed today based on the starting point of a strong strategy, strong discipline, and great culture. Being well managed was absolutely crucial to achieving the success we had. Being named a best managed certainly helped a lot. Running an SME is a lonely endeavor, and the ability to learn from others and benchmark oneself is hugely important. I'm just 100 days into my new role at Enterprise Ireland. Today is actually the 101st day since I've started. Every day is a school day right now, and what I'm learning most is what a roller coaster business is, particularly in fast growth times or during periods of shock, such as during the COVID-19 pandemic and dealing with Brexit. The factors upon which companies are assessed for this award align very well with those we value at Enterprise Ireland. Strategy is fundamental. If you don't know where you're going, your chances of getting there are very low. The world has in recent years become both more competitive and presents more opportunity than ever before. We're at risk from deglobalization, supply chain disruption, and many other factors. But at the same time, the ability to leverage network effects and connect with customers digitally on a global basis has never been higher. Understanding from the outset the risks and opportunities for your business and the strategic implications into the medium and long term is hugely important. Capability and innovation are core to achieving any strategy. Expectations on delivery have never been higher, and ensuring you build the right people and operational capabilities in your business is table stakes for success. I've also observed, underlined by my experience of a first trade mission to the UK and Eurozone this week, the absolute hunger from customers for innovation that can help them succeed. I believe customers are more focused on open innovation than ever before. But companies need to be smart about R&D investment, about IP, about partnering, and all other aspects of that innovation. Innovative solutions and execution capability are the key drivers of success for any company seeking to compete in global markets or even hold a position in this market. On a relevant aside, we survey our clients annually on exports, and we also ask some selected questions. In 2021, 56% of companies stated they do not have a digital plan for growth. We need to change that game for Ireland and ensure that all companies are innovating and innovating with digital as far as possible. Huge support is available in Ireland. If you have the ambition to engage in innovation and digitization, Enterprise Ireland can help. Now, culture eats strategy for breakfast. That's attributed to Peter Drucker, for many the father of modern management science. I believe this to be true. Not that strategy is not fundamental, it absolutely is. But without a committed management team and wider team and a play-to-win culture, it doesn't work. Creating a highly engaged culture where people are unafraid to take risks to achieve challenging outcomes is a key management responsibility. And it is increasingly important for companies that they're well governed, as exampled by these awards. That is true in the classical sense of fiscal and legal responsibilities, but also in that companies need to be aware early of environmental and sustainability goals and other emerging areas and how they apply to continuing to be competitive in the future. And last, but by no means least, the Best Managed Companies framework looks at financial performance. Having worked in a small firm, I understand how important a focus on bookings, billings, cash collections, and all those other vital components of running a good company are. During the past 18 months, Enterprise Ireland has, on behalf of the Irish Government, supported 1,600 COVID-19 impacted companies with almost 200 million euros of funding. What has been key during the process of delivering these programs are the associated frameworks and advice offered to companies, and those companies' reflection on the importance of cash, market strategy, and good fiscal discipline. The purpose, in short, of these awards is strongly aligned with Enterprise Ireland's mission. I commend those companies who engaged with the process and learned from it. You're an excellent company. I also congratulate Deloitte in creating a platform that has positively impacted 139 Irish companies to date, with many more to come this evening, and that is now active across 35 countries. Entrepreneurship in Ireland is highly collaborative, capability is really high, and our companies compete with the best in the world. I am more and more excited with every passing day by the huge potential of Irish enterprise, and I firmly believe the best is yet to come. Good luck to every company represented here tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing the awards. I especially look forward to the great success you'll have in the future, enabled by wonderful communities such as this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. That was really insightful. We're really pleased. Thanks so much for being here. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, it's time to kick off the awards ceremony. First up, I'm delighted to recognise our 2021 Gold winners. Companies awarded the Gold status. They've been established as one of Ireland's best managed companies for 4 consecutive years. What a remarkable achievement. This year, we have 17 Gold winning companies. Let's take a look. Well, huge congrats again to all of our 2021 Gold winners. You should have received your physical awards and your certs, along with some props and goodies to enjoy throughout the afternoon. We'd love to see photos of you and your team celebrating your success. Remember to use the hashtag #BestManaged and tag Deloitte Ireland so we can retweet and like your posts. Well, up next, we have our 2021 Platinum winners. Companies awarded the Platinum Standard have maintained their Best Managed Company status for 7 years. How about that? These companies have shown year after year an ability to innovate and to scale their business to be the best. We have 12 extraordinary companies being awarded the Platinum status this year. Let's find out a little more about our winners. Well, big congratulations to all our Platinum winners. Remember to share your photos with the hashtag #BestManaged. Now it's time to acknowledge our requalifying winners for 2021. These winning companies, well, they've successfully upheld their status as one of Ireland's best managed companies year on year, whether that be for the second year, the sixth year, or for some their 13th year. And now we have a special treat for you this year to help us acknowledge our requalifying companies. I'm delighted to be joined on stage by Electric Blue. The three spectacular ladies have come together to create a unique piece of entertainment especially for you. DJ Claire Beck, percussionist Claire Martin and Eva Kelly on electric fiddle have pooled their individual talents together in a wonderful fusion of live music and track. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Electric Blue. Well, a huge congratulations to all the requalifying winners for 2021. This year's awards programme saw the addition of 2 new award categories: the Family Business Award in association with the Family Business Network and the Best in Innovation Award in association with Salesforce. These awards individually, they recognise 2 outstanding companies within Ireland's Best Managed Companies Network. First up, it's time to announce the winner of the Family Business Award. Well, family businesses, they make up a large cohort within the Ireland's Best Managed Companies programme. This new award is going to honour a family business that has stood out in how they have demonstrated resilience, not only this year, but throughout their years in business. Tommy Breen, retired CEO of GCC, supported the judging panel on behalf of the Family Business Network Ireland in selecting this year's winner. And to announce the award, we're joined virtually by Tommy Breen.
Thank you, Miriam, and good evening, everyone. And it's a great pleasure to be here with you this evening. And what has been an extremely challenging year, clearly for everyone within the country, and particularly for those that are running family businesses. And it's a great pleasure for me to be the independent adjudicator in what is the first year that within the prestigious Deloitte Best Managed Companies Award that there has been a special category, a category dedicated towards the best managed family businesses. And as we all know, family businesses are critical to the future growth and economic prosperity in this country, given their role in job creation and indeed job growth throughout the country. I have to say, to be very honest, I've been hugely impressed, although not altogether surprised, at the quality of the entrance into this award this year, and indeed of the work that a lot of those businesses put in preparation for their submission. You know, it's interesting whenever you reflect on family businesses within Ireland, and indeed of, you know, the huge success that Ireland has had, you know, outpunching its weight really, you know, in terms of creating global businesses for a small country. And so many of those businesses, both some of them today public companies, some of them still private companies, but all originated in many ways as family business. It's a source of great pride as well to see the quality of the management and the management processes, and as time has moved on and the requirements of governance, requirements to incorporate ESG and all forms of diversity into the businesses, how forward-thinking so many of these family businesses have been. However, as always the case in any competition, really there can only be one winner, and it wasn't easy to come up with a winner in the category, a clear winner, because there were several companies that you'd have been very pleased to nominate as a best managed family business. But as I say, there can only be one winner in the end. And it's my great pleasure to announce on behalf of all the judges that the winner of this year's Best Managed Family Business is Port West. Port West stood out in how they have, I suppose, demonstrated resilience and tenacity throughout generations. And they have also been very clear in terms of their approach to critical things in managing a business for the long term, managing a business for international growth, in terms of their approach to strategy, in terms of their approach to innovation, in terms of their approach to governance, and indeed the fantastic financial performance that Port West has demonstrated over a very long period of time. They're a shining example, to be honest, of you know, what I said earlier about how many top-class family businesses that there are in Ireland, and how generation after generation families have invested for the long term to make international success stories. And the Hughes family, in many ways, are, you know, an outstanding example of doing just that. So without further ado, I hand you over to Harry Hughes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this prestigious award here tonight. On behalf of the management team and all the staff and the family at Port West, we are really honoured and privileged to accept it. It shows the commitment and the benefits of family businesses. And I wish to especially thank all the management team and staff who worked so hard over the last number of years to grow the Port West company. And it's for them, it's a particular honour tonight. We are committed as a family business to the long term. We operate in 130 countries, and to be recognised by your own peer group and the judging panel tonight, it's a great honour, and I wish to thank them on behalf of everybody. Thank you very much. COVID and Brexit has been a difficult time, but to us, where there's always a challenge, we always look for the opportunity, and we keep on finding opportunities going forward. And I thank you again. Thank you very much.
Great to hear from Tommy, and huge congratulations to Harry Hughes and everyone at Port West on being awarded the Family Business Award for 2021. Now moving on to the Best in Innovation Award. Well, to announce the winner of this award, I'm delighted to be joined on stage here by Deirdre Purcell, Area Vice President, Ireland Salesforce, who supported the judging panel in selecting this year's winner. Deirdre.
Thank you, Miriam. On behalf of Salesforce, I'm delighted to announce the Best in Innovation Award here at Ireland's Best Managed Companies Awards led by Deloitte. I'm also thrilled to actually be here in person and to present the award to the winner. This year, Salesforce will power more than 2 trillion B2B and B2C transactions for more than 150,000 companies and millions of trailblazers. These individuals and their organizations use Salesforce to drive innovation, grow their careers, transform their businesses, and give back to the community. Salesforce is committed to a set of core values: trust, customer success, innovation, and equality of every human being. Salesforce has been a leader of Fortune's Change the World list for 5 years in a row. With this in mind, we were keen to find an organization with similar values and with innovation at the core of their business. From the list of nominees, it was very tough, with so many impressive entries. But the judging team and I narrowed it down to one. It's an honour to be awarding the Best in Innovation Award to a company that is driving innovation by investing heavily in technology and people, which positions them as a leader in bringing new technologies to the construction industry. This company drives scale and productivity through innovations like virtual site walks of projects and use of image recognition and machine learning to track project progress and changes. Their mission is to continually challenge new ways of operating in the future, and they've even developed a purpose-built research and development facility here in Ireland. Huge congratulations to the Best in Innovation Award winner, Erigal Contracts.
Congratulations, Cormac and Jamie. And what does it feel like? What does it mean to you and the team for this to happen to you?
Wow, to receive recognition for what we love is humbling. We're honoured to be part of all that is great in the construction industry, which drives innovation and embraces change. Thank you, Deirdre, for your kind words, and Salesforce for their enduring relationship with the island of Ireland and all its citizens, and for the support to our industry over the years. We look forward to the opportunity to be part of the delivery team on your new European headquarters in North Dock in Dublin. Fingers crossed. Deloitte, thank you for your unwavering support to Irish leaders across all sectors. We look at the list of companies over the years that have received accolades and recognition for their dedication to their companies, to their communities, and we are humbled but excited to be part of that club. To the judges, it means a great deal to have company leaders look at your business and give you the stamp of approval to stay with your vision and take the risks to allow your people to deliver on their ambition. And finally, to all who make Erigal part of their work-life balance, thank you for the trust, strength, and courage you give each other every day. Cormac and myself feel so lucky to be part of your success.
Well, congratulations to both of you. So very well deserved. Deirdre, thank you too. Well, before we announce our new winners to the Ireland's Best Managed Companies Network, we're delighted to be joined again on stage by Harry Goddard, CEO, Deloitte Ireland. He's joined by Emer Lamb, who won bronze in the women's 4 rowing alongside her teammates, Afra Kyo, Fiona Murta and Emily Hegarty. Emer is from Dublin, and in addition to her rowing prowess, she studied commerce in UCD. Fintan McCarthy took home a gold medal alongside his rowing teammate Paul O'Donovan in the lightweight men's double sculls. He's been instrumental in positioning Skibbereen as the rowing capital of the world. Like Emer, he's a number of medals from major championships in his collection. Both of them know what it takes to make a great team.
Thank you very much, Miriam, and guys, absolutely fantastic to be here. Huge congratulations on your achievements and your success in Tokyo, and fantastic to see you sporting your medals this afternoon. We are all at home here. We're hugely proud watching you on the other side of the world. Brilliant to have you here with us this afternoon.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's really great to be here.
I might start with you, Emer. Maybe
Yeah.
we saw, I suppose, the end of what's been a really long journey, but where did it start for you?
Oh gosh.
Your rowing career.
How far back do you want to go? I started rowing when I was about 12, but mainly because I didn't really fit in with any other sports. I'm quite tall, so everyone thought I was like born for basketball, and I think I was the captain of the C team in school. So I ended up falling into rowing. My older sisters all kind of gave it a go, and I was lucky enough our house was close to the rowing club, so my mum threw us in, kind of get us out of the house. So I started there, and that's probably where my passion kind of where my passion probably came from. I met like a great group of girls and really, really enjoyed it there. And I kind of just kept going with it really, and stuck with it then all the way through college. And then in my final year, I wasn't really sure where I was going to go with it, if I should go into my career and start working and kind of leave my rowing years behind me. And I applied for like a number of graduate positions and all that, like all my peers kind of did. But then that summer we raced then the World Under-23 World Championships, and we medalled there, and that was like my first international medal. And about 2 or 3 weeks after that we went to the qualifiers, and we were only 2 places off. So I was like, it was kind of like a do or die moment then. I was like, okay, I can defer my career and push that out and ship up and move down to Cork where I knew no one. And yeah, so I decided then to kind of fully commit then, and I've been in Cork for the last 2 years, and lucky enough, it's paid off so far.
In absolute spades. And was that the moment when you sort of thought to yourself, actually the Olympics is something I'd like to really pursue?
Yeah, definitely. Like I always had, my older sister Claire went to Rio, so I always kind of had that role model in the house. But see, if you look at the two of us together, we're polar opposites and like complete opposite versions of athletes. So I think kind of having her in the house, I always looked at her and she had like this drive and she was so competitive. Whereas I love rowing, I love the sport, and I love the social side. And I loved everything, all that kind of stuff. Whereas she wanted to win, and like I'd swear the first word out of her mouth when she was born was Olympics. Like it had been her life goal. So in a weird way, I think seeing her, I was like, oh no, like that's what it takes to be an Olympian, you know? And I didn't necessarily see those traits in myself. So in a weird way, it kind of took me a step back and took me longer almost to think it was a dream that I could make a reality for myself. Because then I remember one of my friends saying to me, like, there's like 100 ways to win a medal, you know? You don't have to be this like ideal athlete of this like certain, you don't put yourself in this box, you know? Like so many people, I think you just stick yourself in a box of this is the traits you need to be to do something and achieve something. And once I was kind of able to push that out, I kind of realized then that summer at the end of college, probably a little late in the cycle, but yeah, I realized then the Olympics could be on the cards.
I think that's really interesting. I think it's particularly interesting. I can subscribe exactly to the sort of type A personality that says, I just want to go to the Olympics, and when I get there, I just want to win. How did the rowing career start, Fintan, and when did the Olympics become part of the agenda for you?
I can relate a lot to Emer saying that she wasn't cut out for the other sports. you know, I'm actually a twin, so my brother was always like the sporty one. So I kind of played the role of being like good in school then, and like I didn't go near sports really, and he didn't come near my academic results. But then I think it was around junior cert year where I kind of started thinking about kind of having something more. You know, everyone has school, and he used to be going out playing sports every evening really, and I used to be sat home doing my homework. So it was a bit of a last ditch effort really to like kind of find something and like find my place really, I guess, because all my friends were doing stuff, and then all my friends ended up rowing once I started, so that was nice. Yeah, and it kind of went from there really. It was good as well because I never really had anything special before that people could kind of recognize you were good at. So once people started saying to me, oh, you know, that was a really good score on the rowing machine, or you look good on the water this morning, that kind of kept me going. And it just went from there really, I guess, yeah.
When did the Olympic dream when did that flicker in your mind's eye?
Oh, it was very early on, to be honest, yeah. I remember I was out in a double with my friend one day, and I actually said, oh, we should try and go to the Olympics in the double. And he was a bit like, yeah, maybe. He quit long ago, but one of us made it at least.
You made it.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations and well done. And actually, maybe just building on that, Emer, moving sort of full forward for a second, take us into the race, and maybe just to describe where you are in the boat and just that experience of the race.
Okay, so I'm in the 2 seat, so it's numbered from the back, so the back is 1 and I'm 2, then it's 3 and 4. And where I sit, I kind of have to make the calls and kind of tactics basically for the race, but most of them are pre-decided as a team, and with rowing you have to do everything quite in sync, so whatever I call, we all really have to trust each other and back each other and commit to it, because otherwise it upsets the boat and it all goes slower. But anyway, yeah, our race in the Olympic final probably didn't go to plan as we'd hoped it to. The result, obviously, we're delighted with, but the execution wasn't our finest. So we're quite slow off the start generally. So our main aim is to try and stay with people as much as possible, because we're quite aerobic, and we know then in the second half of the race we usually can, if we're in touch with people, we can kind of come through them or get closer anyway. So the start of that race, it didn't go to plan, and everyone got way ahead of us. I think my mum was watching at the club and commercial, and she said everyone was silent. Like, they thought we were out of it. I think we kind of thought we were out of it a bit as well. I think we were 5th coming through the 1K, and then we were lucky. I think we had Great Britain beside us, so we could still see them in the corner of our eyes, so that kind of kept us pushing along. And I think I made the call then a little early, being like, okay, like if we don't go now, we're never going to do it. So I made the call and everyone responded, and we basically went hell for leather for the last 700 metres, I think, which is roughly 2.5 minutes of the race. Put it all on the line and just about pip GB on the line to get 3rd place.
It was fantastic.
It worked out in the end.
And if I remember correctly, it was the 500 metre call you gave at 700 metres.
Yeah,
so your sort of teammates are like, hang on a second.
Risky move.
It was a risky move. I think we were lucky it was a tailwind, so it was a fast enough course, and I think they knew too that if we didn't do it then, we'd never get the chance to do it. So it worked out. And
of course, you had strong motivation in those around you in terms of the other competitors.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, it was good having GB beside us, and all the other crews. Like, there are a lot of crews that we'd beaten before that were ahead of us, and we knew that we should have been up there. You know, so I think having that in the back of our mind kind of kept us pushing along as well. So.
And Fintan, for your race, you made a different profile of race. Maybe if you could just take that through for us. And of course, there's 2 of you in the boat, not 4.
Yeah. I think in the double it's a bit more personal. I don't think we're quite as regimented as the girls in the 4. It's kind of, we play it by ear a bit, but we kind of know how the race is going to go generally. You know, like the girls, we don't go off as hard as the other crews, and then if we're in the mix at the 1K, we kind of know that we should have the ability to come through. The Germans gave us a good run for our money in the final. We didn't really expect it, but yeah, thankfully we were able to come through them in the end. We'd raced them a few times during the year, so we knew they were going to be quick off the start. So once we were in contact with them, I was kind of just saying, oh yeah, it's okay, it's okay. And then with 500 to go, we were level, and then they went again. So like the girls, we kind of had to put in a big sprint to come through, but thankfully it all worked out.
And what were those last sort of 2 minutes like? I mean, let's bear in mind you've established a world record.
Yeah, when I watch it back, it's a lot more nerve-wracking than it was in the moment. I think you don't really think about the end goal in the race. You're kind of just executing what you've practiced 100 times in training, or more than 100 times really. But yeah, I remember they were in front of us, and then we drew level coming into that last quarter, and I could feel us moving, and then they moved again, and then from about 400 metres to go, I just said, I'm just going to stare at Paul's back and pull as hard as I can, because there's no point looking out, because that's when the mistakes are made. So I just went as hard as I could, and Paul went as hard as he could as well, and thankfully we came through.
It's that discipline around the process.
Yeah,
You know, it
100%.
really is, and,
yeah.
you know, and maybe just to talk about that a little bit, I mean, Emer, you talked about sort of 2 years out, you decided you were going to go down to Cork.
Yeah.
Just tell us a little bit about Cork and the centre down there, and what that environment was like. And
Well, going there from Dublin, I was a bit like, oh my God, this is the middle of nowhere. What am I doing? It's a beautiful place, to be fair, when you're down there for the first time. You're a lake and hills all around you, and it's all green. But going down at the start, I didn't really know many people, and it was quite daunting. But I think it's really nice that there's like a nice sense of community down there, and I was quite lucky then once I got down there and kind of got to know everybody that it worked out quite well. Everyone's so friendly and like, sorry, I had to cough. It's quite friendly, and it's a bit of a family, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
once you're down there.
You spend so much time together training and stuff that it's like they do become your family, especially in COVID times, because we would have all been in a bubble, so we wouldn't have been able to go home as often to our families. So, you know, you're seeing them every day, you're training with them twice a day. We live together, some of us, so they do become like a second family, really.
so this is down in the rowing training centre down in Cork, where you really are in a sort of a bubble together.
Yeah.
And just the rowers, and you're super focused on, I suppose, on your training regime. COVID comes along, you're training, you're planning, you've got, Cork isn't too bad because I can come home at the weekends and see my friends, and COVID happens. And next thing you find, actually, I can't come home and see my friends, and I can't go out and build networks in Cork.
Yeah, literally. I think, if anything, that probably pushed us all closer together. You know, at the time, it was quite hard, and you wanted to go home, you wanted to see your family, you want that break, because rowing can be so intense. You really need to have something kind of outside it just to give yourself a mental break, if not like a physical one. But I think, looking back on it now, I think, if anything, we actually probably gained so much from that time together. Because then, like, when lockdown hit, we all had to move home, and everyone was like building gyms in their back garden, like all sorts. And like, none of us really knew if we would be able to do the training, like keep up the intensity of training by ourselves in our garden, like getting out of bed in the morning. But for us anyway, for the girls team, we decided that every morning we'd Zoom each other. So we'd set up our phones and would just watch each other on the rowing machines as we went on the rowing machines. Like, we wouldn't even talk or anything. But just like, I'd be looking at her. I think it was probably a blessing actually at that point that we hadn't qualified, that we were going for last chance. Because I knew like she'd be on that rowing machine so that I could qualify. So if I don't get on that rowing machine so she can qualify, like what else are we doing, you know? So like, if she can do it for me, I could do it for her. And I think from that we actually really built like a really good sense of like trust and just a good sense of family, really coming straight out of it.
That team dynamic is hugely important in rowing. Just to give us some insight, maybe, Fintan, to the extent that there is a regular training week, what does that look like?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, we're training 5 or 6 hours a day, every day, some weeks. If we do, we kind of have a system where we'd have 50% weeks, 75% weeks, and 100% weeks. And yeah, there's been a lot of rough 100% weeks. We get a break sometimes on Sundays, but
otherwise it's full tilt.
It's full tilt, yeah.
And now, as you look forward and you think about the Olympics and the experience that you've had, what do you think the future? What do you think the future looks like? You talked about you deferred starting work.
Yeah, so I've been deferring a graduate program for about 2 years now. So I've signed so many contracts with them. I feel like I should probably put in about a day's work.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, I think it's probably a good time to kind of build on other skills outside of rowing, because rowing's so intense, like we were saying. It's so hard to have anything else going on. So I'm definitely going to use this kind of period of time before the next cycle really kicks off to try and build a bit of other skills, see what the working world entails, and kind of get a feel for it.
Well, no doubt you have the experience in terms of discipline, dedication, hard work. They're all there.
Yeah, hopefully.
And Fintan, for you?
Yeah, I'm thinking of going back to college. Haven't made any decisions yet, but like Emer said, you know, rowing can be all-consuming sometimes, and I think it is important to have an idea of what's going to happen after, because you can't row forever, unfortunately. I know we'd all love to, but...
And Paris?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably on the cards.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll see.
And maybe, I guess, one final question. I guess, you know, we got a sense of our rowing capability and our rowing in terms of, well, Skibbereen on the map, but as a country, Rio, that's been emphasised this year. How do you think about your roles and the sport, I suppose, into the future? And I think particularly, Emer, for you as a female,
Yeah.
How do you think about the opportunities, perhaps, that you can, you know, how do you use that opportunity?
Yeah, I remember like when we came in there, like people were saying that this was the first women's rowing medal Ireland's ever won, and I think only then it really dawned on me how big a thing it was. And yeah, I think, to be honest, the most important thing now for me is to try and build on that, to try and get more women's participation, I think, in the clubs, and even just at junior levels, people just doing it even for fun, not as intense as we make it out to be, you know. And I think if any way that I've inspired some kids or anything to get rowing, I think that's something definitely I want to try build on going forward.
I think that's brilliant, and certainly I think for all of us that have had the benefit of being able to meet you here, you've been inspirational to us. I really do appreciate you taking the time to come and spend some time with us this afternoon. As I said at the outset, you have made us all and the country hugely proud in terms of your achievements. Continued success to both of you. We're all rooting for you and right behind you. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you very much. And Miriam, I'll hand back to you.
Thanks so much, Harry. Well, how inspiring to hear from two of Ireland's medal-winning Olympians. Emer and Fintan, I hope you know how much of a lift you gave all of us and your Team Ireland colleagues here at home. Thanks a million to you all. You're absolutely wonderful there. Well, now for the moment you've all been waiting for. It's now time to announce the new winners for 2021. Well, this year saw a record-breaking number of applications, despite the challenges the winning companies faced in the past 18 months. These 25 companies, they've emerged successfully, and they now join this exceptional cohort of Ireland's best managed companies for the first time this year. Well, to tell us a little bit more about our new winners, I'm delighted to be joined on stage by Anya Cummins, Deloitte's lead partner for Ireland's Best Managed Companies programme, and by Nikki Canavan, Senior Director, Bank of Ireland Corporate Banking and Judging Panel Member.
Thanks, Miriam. Hello, everyone. I really hope you've all been enjoying the afternoon so far. As Harry mentioned earlier, we've really tried hard to infuse that special Best Managed Companies spirit of celebration into the proceedings. And I hope that you'll all agree having a chin wag with some of Ireland's most recent Olympic medalists helps us to do just that. And I've seen some of your Twitter pictures as well. I'm really glad to see you all having a good time. And now here we are at a really exciting part of today's event, on the cusp of announcing our new winners. Those companies that are being recognised as best managed for the first time, which is a really significant milestone for them. As the lead partner at Deloitte Ireland for Ireland's Best Managed Companies Awards programme, I have found it hugely inspiring and motivating to see your journey through the process this year. In fact, we received a record number of applications this year, and the quality of the applications demonstrated the extraordinarily high quality businesses operating across the island of Ireland today. 25 new winners are being recognised this afternoon, and last year, to give it some context, we recognised 9 new winners. So I really believe that speaks to the bravery, confidence and capability of Irish businesses and how we are up for a challenge. In a relentlessly disruptive year, as winning companies, you displayed true bravery in how you adapted to change, with many of you innovating and even accelerating your plans for your businesses. As many of you may know, I thoroughly enjoy the ceremony and the gala each year. I love the opportunity to celebrate you and your company's success. And while we're not yet at the stage where we can celebrate in person, we are making progress on that front. So hopefully soon. But nonetheless, I hope this ceremony has given you an opportunity to take some time to recognise and celebrate you and your team's tremendous achievements. We really do look forward to connecting with you all in person over the coming weeks and months. So fingers very much crossed on that. But sincere congratulations from everyone at the Deloitte team. It's a genuine pleasure for me to lead this programme every year, but this year in particular, I think I can say on behalf of everyone at Deloitte and everyone involved that it has been incredibly rewarding to see the quality of the submissions and the new businesses that have qualified this year. So welcome to the Best Managed Companies Club. I'm delighted to be joined here on stage by Nikki Canavan, Senior Director, Bank of Ireland Corporate Banking. Deloitte is delighted to work alongside our programme sponsor, Bank of Ireland, and indeed all of our programme sponsors in growing the Best Managed Companies network. Nikki, over to you.
Thanks, Anya, and good afternoon to you all. I'd like to endorse everything that Anya and indeed Harry have said. This is a tremendous event and programme, and myself and my colleagues at Bank of Ireland are delighted to be lead sponsor of the Deloitte Best Managed Companies for a fourth consecutive year. On behalf of Bank of Ireland, I'd like to formally congratulate all of this year's winners. You join a fantastic alumni of BMC Club members. The world has changed in ways we couldn't have imagined since we met here in early March 2020 for our last year's awards gala, and the commitment of the Irish people to supporting our health professionals and the vulnerable has been second to none, with business leaders across the country playing a vital role. Every year as part of the judging process, we see great examples of how businesses respond to both opportunities and challenges. However, the resilience and ingenuity displayed by Irish business leaders since the onset of this pandemic has been really remarkable. Entrepreneurial spirit is an essential ingredient for management teams looking to grow and lead their businesses, and this has never been more evident than over the last 18 months. Each year, over 30 of my senior colleagues from Bank of Ireland work with a panel of Deloitte coaches to support management teams through the application process. In their role as coaches, they share their collective sector expertise, strategic insights, input into financial and capital structures, and of course into the application process itself. On a personal note, I am honoured to be Bank of Ireland's representative on a very high calibre and experienced judging panel. And every year we are impressed by the strength and diversity of the applicants. And this year was no exception despite the unprecedented challenges encountered across many sectors. Indeed, the tenacity and ingenuity we saw from many applicants in response to the COVID-19 pandemic was a key factor in our decision-making process this year. I'd like to acknowledge Anya, Harry and all the team at Deloitte who've had the foresight to develop this programme over a decade ago and their ongoing commitment to ensure that it continues to go from strength to strength. Whilst, as Anya said, it is not the gala celebration of previous years, I would like to congratulate the team at Deloitte for their hard work and indeed innovation in organising today's fantastic event. And I hope you are all taking the opportunity to celebrate your status as a Best Managed Companies winner. Indeed, as Anya referenced, the tweets that are coming in would suggest that many of you are enjoying the afternoon. Congratulations to you all once again, and we look forward to seeing you thrive as the economy continues to reopen and strengthen. I'll now hand you back to Miriam for what, as a judge, is probably my favourite part of the event, the new winners.
Thanks so much, Nikki. And thanks, Anya, as well, for that fantastic introduction from you both to the new winner category. So it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to announce the new winners. And as mentioned, we've got 25 new winners, and I will now call out each winner in alphabetical order before we hear from the winning companies themselves. Acacia Facilities Management Limited, BidX1, Brennan and Company, Camille Food Group, Clonakilty Food Company, CR2, CWSI, Digital Marketing Institute, Dowds Group, Erigal Contracts Limited, Fortus, H&MV Engineering Limited, Keltec, Manoc, Marco Beverage Systems Limited, Motobuild, MPA Recruitment, PEI Surgical, Sambra Fife Limited, Stafford Lynch, Total Mobile Limited, Triangle, Village Pets, Welltel and Windsor Motor Group. Well, unfortunately, our new winners, of course, cannot be here to accept their awards in person today. However, I'm delighted to share some footage with you featuring each of our winning companies. This year, well, it's been particularly challenging for all Irish businesses. And to be represented here this afternoon as new winners, well, it's truly a tremendous achievement. We'll now play 5 short videos which showcase each of our winners and the resilience they have all shown over the past 18 months, in many cases, rising to the challenges COVID-19 has presented. First up, let's hear from our winners about how they prioritise their team members' safety.
Everybody was waiting around. What's going to happen? What's going to shut down? What's allowed? What isn't allowed?
We wanted to protect ourselves and our families and our livelihoods. And to do that, we had to be part of the societal drive.
We had to make sure that our facilities were configured for whatever service we could provide, that we could do that safely.
And it was driven from senior leadership that we should stay engaged and stay connected with our teams. All members of our team knew that no matter what was going on, they could always turn to the company for help.
We wanted to be able to say, well, look, are you happy with this? Does this make you feel safe? Is there anything else that you think we should be doing?
There's trust in the leadership team, and is that got us through.
Our IT department ensured that within a couple of weeks, all of our people had the equipment they needed to smoothly transition to working from home.
How can operatives that work on site work from home? They can't. So we needed to be very sensitive to the rest of the people within the business. That was probably a higher percentage of the people that actually work in the office. So that message needed to be clear to them, but also done in a sensitive way that, you know, we're also supporting you and making sure we've got safeguards around you.
We had to actually do remote DSE assessments, and we set them up very early so that we were satisfied that our own staff were working in a safe environment. It wasn't just about the business, it was about the people in the business. That's the key thing for us.
We fully supported each individual with whatever requests or need that they had as well.
We asked employees to give a shout out for their colleagues, whether they did something big or small that they wanted to shout about. And out of 100 employees, we had 44 nominations. So it was massive.
It was difficult at the beginning, but management put fantastic systems in place in order for everyone to be safe and to work from home.
In July, when we started to bring everybody back into the building and the warehouse, we invested in social distancing wristbands. So they all wore wristbands, and if they came within 2 meters of each other, they buzz.
Social distancing in veterinary isn't very possible, so we had to rely heavily on personal protective equipment. We had to do our best to make sure that they got breaks from that.
Protecting and looking out for each other is what we do every day, and being able to change and adapt and make decisions again is something I have learned in life and in business.
It was important to show, strength in leadership and a calm head, and I think that was crucial.
Well, up next, let's hear about how team members stayed connected in this new virtual world.
The COVID crisis hit us. Clearly, we had to keep the business going, but we had to make sure we did it safely. So the communication with our team members and our customers was absolutely crucial.
We were very confident that we've done this before, it's going to work. That's the first, access to information is not a problem.
We covered a range of breathing techniques, meditation and stretching, and the real focus of that was to really help support employees' well-being.
We needed to reassure them during the pandemic that we were strong, we were in a good position.
We engaged in a number of physical fundraising and wellbeing challenges with the staff.
Everybody had to do a challenge that involved the number 10. So it was 10 keepy uppies, 10 kilometres, whatever they wanted to do. And then we gave €10 to the charity.
We've been offering a platform called Udemy as well. People don't have the opportunity to go to actual training courses, so Udemy provides that means for people to be able to upskill and develop their careers at home.
One thing we did make sure to do was to share information in terms of where we're at and where we're going, what the future looks like. If nothing else, to at least allay people's fears over employment.
When the Euros were on, we each were assigned a team, so it was just a great way to, stay engaged with our team outside of work.
Simple things like celebrating people's birthdays and work anniversaries, we did all of that online, so we had that facility through our internal comms platform.
Communication is the linchpin to our services.
I remember on the marketing team, we all started with our cameras off, but I think at the end of the day, we just started missing each other, so we turned the cameras on.
I suppose the key to engagement is to mix it, obviously stay consistent with the type of meetings and the flow of meetings to ensure that you follow the process.
We held a lot of social media workshops, and that really enabled us to stay, first of all, to allow our team to represent Marco as a brand online and externally, but also, for them to engage with us as a brand in a very personal and kind of creative and fun way as well.
So there was complete transparency to our whole team about where we are, where we're going, what's happened, what's been affected, what hasn't been affected.
Giving people the opportunity to feedback, what's working, what's not working, asking that constantly, setting up employee forums, even though we're all remote, is so important because sometimes you need to hear a different perspective.
It was a steep learning curve for us in terms of presentation of the business to our customer base across a virtual medium such as the one we're using today.
But how did this year's winning companies ensure their purpose and other key priorities were kept at the forefront when revising their strategies and responding to COVID-19? Let's hear from our new winners.
It's incredibly easy for us to stick to our core mission because we're in the fortunate position that we're already a future-facing business.
Our mission statement, I suppose, is encapsulated by what we call our circle of values. It's communication, it's integrity, it's respect, it's customers, it's loyalty, and it's empowerment.
One of the areas that we continue to focus on was our commitment to diversity and inclusion.
We've rolled out our new vision, mission and values, along with a complete rebranding of the 3 trading entities within our group this year.
Because Italian and Spanish vets are finding it hard to go to the UK, we have a bigger pool now of possible candidates to pick from.
We've pivoted more towards off-site construction, so basically we're de-risking projects for our clients by bringing them back into our production facility.
We're pretty much taking an approach that our company can work on a multi-location basis, and that if we can get better talent into the Cork office.
You can't make black and white pudding remotely. So we had to change and adapt, and we had to communicate, and we had to have the cooperation of everybody.
Brexit has been a huge challenge, but that challenge we successfully turned into an opportunity as well.
We have a large presence just south of the border, large presence in Northern Ireland, and then we also have our offices in the UK. Like if you were just based in Ireland and had to work in all of these countries, it would be a lot more difficult. But because you have these bases in all of these jurisdictions, that's definitely a massive help.
It's very important that us as market leaders are seen to have achieved certification to EN 14001, the environmental standard, and hope that we inspire others in the industry.
We actually work with our customers, helping them understand how our technology can help them reduce their impact to the climate.
Our underlying philosophy is create better outcomes. So that's all about culture and getting people committed to the organisation.
Just look after your customers and then you have a good chance of having a business. And I think we did that very well, and it was recognised by one of our major customers in the GB market, who awarded us the COVID Hero of the Year award.
It's a major cultural shift in how we think, and it's been quite interesting for me because I come from a traditional work practice.
What we learned as children growing up and what we've learned from our parents and community leaders, we've brought those same principles into our business and everyday life in our business. And we encourage all our staff and all the people in our business to live by those principles.
Well, staying committed to your purpose and your key priorities. For some of our new winning companies, COVID-19 presented unique opportunities. Let's take a look.
We've been banging the drum about remote working for over 10 years now and practicing it ourselves. So for us, it was the light bulb moment where everybody else came on the journey with us.
We used the last 12 months to develop an accelerated growth strategy, looking to enter new markets with that solution, developing extended products around that, and finding new routes to market.
A couple of risks we took were firstly really expanding our international reach, and the second was to actually give away a significant amount of training content to our customers all over the world.
So while the first 3 months of COVID, we were examining the business every week, looking at what was about to fall out. We almost missed the fact that there were so many things going in.
When COVID hit, our demand exploded. It was massive. It was just unprecedented growth. And this has completely transformed our approach to developing brands, and it has led to some incredible new partnerships.
We acquired 4 companies, and we had to take a leap of faith. We had to take a bit of risk, but we were buying good companies we knew, companies we'd assessed, and we knew the strength they would bring to our business on the other side.
We leveraged our position, what we're known for, what we're good at, and we knew that people in times of disruption will always go back to a few trusted partners.
So something that we noticed from COVID was people approaching us, asking us could we send them product, and from that spun an opportunity for us to open a web shop for gifting and hampers around our products, and that's something that we're launching very soon.
I got a lot more time to engage with staff, even though it's through Teams and through phone calls. That's been a big success, and I passed that on to my line managers and asked them to do similar. So it fell on our lap more than anything of how to engage more with people.
We're constantly working on solutions and coming up with ideas.
We looked a lot of how we communicate with our customers, like what we say, emails we sent them, how we what we said in those emails, because it gave us a chance to actually step back from the business, because sometimes growth causes other challenges that you don't look at your core.
We trusted in ourselves and our business plan, and in the infrastructure that we built as a leadership team.
In relation to our resource planning, we had to move some of our employees into sectors they wouldn't have dealt with before, but they very much quickly adapted and were able to support the increase in business that we've seen through the channels that had opportunity in it.
What it probably encouraged us to do was actually to go back to refocus and to reinforce the way that we operate. And what clients look for in those uncertain times are partners that they can trust.
Well, finding opportunity in challenging times. Last but not least, let's hear from our winners about how they stepped out of their comfort zones, adapting to change and embracing technology.
One of the things that happened during the pandemic was, I think it showed us how resilient we are as an organisation, but also how we've embraced change.
Customers were looking to us to not just be the experts in our technology, but in the experts and also helping them how they reacted to COVID.
And we're very proud that we actually done our first acquisition of a company fully remotely, without meeting anybody face to face.
We were able to pivot our technology and actually give our customers the ability to use our technology to engage their staff and track wellness during the pandemic.
We had to drastically look at the way we supplied our diagnostic equipment for sleep apnea patients. So we started to supply it remotely and diagnose the patients remotely and virtually.
We introduced 3D cameras to walk, basically the guys attached it to their hard hats. They walked around the site and took a good caption of the progress on site. Then that was edited and sent to the client, so they're continuously updated the progress on site.
With restrictions on the use of hand and finger scanners, for instance, we programmed and developed a facial recognition process, and this has now been rolled out across all our sites.
We've done a really interesting partnership with Mana Aerodrome, so you can get your Camille Thai from our food truck and delivered to your home in less than 3 minutes.
Some of the technologies we've adapted during the COVID period has been to introduce a communication and loyalty platform for trade customers, a business-to-business e-commerce platform, which is a project undergoing to support our merchant customer and give them 24/7 connectivity to our business, and also a standardised communication platform for our internal stakeholders.
What we chose to do a couple of years ago was to implement a data metric business
If we can measure it, we can improve it. What we're doing well, what we're doing not so well, where we're getting stuck, to enhance decision making and to make us a far better business in our process and in our operations.
It's very clear from the top down that our tech is very valuable and is going to help our business, even though we are focused on sales.
Through our software, we're now looking at new ways of maintaining. So we're looking at predictive maintenance of assets. We're looking at cleaning on demand, and we're looking at occupancy usage within buildings, within our client buildings. And it is our own technology. We're proud of it, and we've spun it off as our own business.
HMV Engineering is an engineering company, so we're used to, I suppose, problems confronting themselves all day, every day, and finding a solution.
We had already digitised all of our processes, which allowed a lot of our team to work quite productively from home. So we were therefore able to react to the increase in market demand much more quickly than some of our larger rivals.
But what was really amazing to see was how the lawyers, the accountants, the corporate financiers all came and adapted to be on that journey and to complete legal, financial due diligence all remotely.
How wonderful to hear from you all. Congratulations again to all of our new winners on behalf of the Best Managed Companies Network, who look forward to connecting and engaging with you for many, many years to come. With that, we've come to the end of Ireland's Best Managed Companies Awards Ceremony 2021. Thank you all for taking time out to join us. We hope you enjoyed our virtual ceremony this afternoon. All winners, you're going to receive their winners pack by email this evening. It's going to include winner logos, social media posts and a press release template, all to help you publicise your win and your success. On behalf of Deloitte, I'd like to say a final word of thanks to the programme sponsor, Bank of Ireland, the academic partner, Irish Management Institute, and the media partner, the Business Post. And a special thanks to the Family Business Network and Salesforce in supporting the two inaugural awards. Remember, you can read more about this year's winning companies in the Ireland's Best Managed Companies supplement, which will be published in this week's Business Post on Sunday, the 12th of September. Thank you all so much for having me as your host once again and for joining me virtually this afternoon. I hope to see you all in person maybe next year. Until then, slán.
Bring me
real